Yeah, we back with the Karmelo Anthony joint. I want to hear what his dad got to say. I was definitely looking for this. You know what I mean? Let's see what he got to say. Let's get into this. It's a tragedy, man. It's a loss. It's a loss all the way around.
Austin Metcalf's dad, Jeff Metcalf, joins me now here in Dallas. Jeff, thanks for being with us here today.
Thank you, Will. Thanks for having me.
You know, I think I'd love to just start this conversation with some of what I just shared with the audience. This is not new to you. I'm sure you've seen the video and heard the 911 call. I did notice you took your earpiece out. You didn't want to hear that audio again of the 911 call.
Correct.
Just too hard to hear it again and to see this video.
And there's another body cam footage that hasn't been released, and it has some pretty graphic details, and I can hear my son screaming, and it's something I don't really want to care to listen to again.
Totally understandable.
I don't understand why he can't be hurt. Everybody mad at him. Like, he lost his son. I don't care what his son ain't do nothing but push him. They young boys. You push back, fight. You don't stab him and take his life and then cry to the police, he put his hands on me. So what? So what, man? This is crazy. He can be mad. You know what I'm saying? I heard his rant. I feel the same way. You can't, like, at the end of the day, if you're biased, you can't be on any jury. It don't matter your skin color. So if you show up and be like, yep, I'm going to be biased, they're going to kick you out of there. I don't like people on welfare. I don't like people on Section 8. Everybody get your ass up and get a job. Hustle hard, grind hard, go get your money.
With this video's release, Jeff, do you hope the public can see about this moment?
Well, I mean, obviously, the trial not being publicly viewed live, due to there's so many minors involved, and that's a different subject I could talk about on its own, because look at the damage that these young students who had to witness this murder, who have to live with this for the rest of their life. Every one of them, I believe, are in counseling.
See, that's true. Ain't nobody talking about them. I don't understand how the victim dad is being the most rational person out of the whole situation. Ain't nobody thinking about the other kids that had to witness that.
PTSD could be a thing. I mean, this is a trauma that you carry the rest of your life, possibly. Hopefully they can get the help they need and move forward and not be scarred from it. Me personally, I'm the same way. I need the help too, to make sure that I can move forward. And that's what I really want to concentrate on, is moving forward. I hope this video can clear up a lot of the misinformation that was provided throughout the entire year before the trial came to light. There were multiple lies and mistruths that were put on social media, that were spoken by even individuals that have some fame.
He didn't get jumped. The brother didn't touch him. It wasn't pummeling. It wasn't none of that. It was a shove. I pushed a lot of people in my lives. I punched a lot of people in my life. Like, they ain't even put their hands on me, and I done punched dudes in their face. I smacked dudes. I choked dudes. You know what I'm saying? I used to get it in. It didn't matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? If we had to go through them things, we went and got them things. Like,
people had their own opinions without even seeing the facts. And that's the part I have trouble with.
What do you make of that? Candidly, with the audience, you and I spoke a little bit earlier today, and it's one of the great mysteries for me, and how something that is so clear, the facts so obvious, was turned into something that was this great national discussion of race. I think you called it earlier. How did this become George Floyd 2.0?
Unfortunately, in today's moral decay of society, as we witnessed, people believe that if they have their own voice, they scream loud enough, they're right. And they believe perception is their own reality. It may not be truth, but in their mind, it is their own reality. For a person to not able to objectively look at something, use common logic, common sense, to come to a determination just based on merely the facts, not the color of one's skin, that tells me a whole lot about your character if you choose that direction.
And you told me you feel like you know the moment this became more than simply a horrible tragedy and a crime story in North Texas, where it became this larger thing, and it was that press conference.
Yes, sir. I do believe that was probably one of the turning points. I was there to show up to pray. I was hoping we could show the world this wasn't a racial divide thing, that we could kind of close the gap instead of widening it. But at that point, they'd obviously retained the services of Dominic Alexander, a convicted baby-shaking felon advocate who decided to throw me out of the press conference, had me removed by police. And
that was the first mistake. They should have kept him in there. He was willing to stand with Karmelo. He was going to stand with Karmelo, forgive Karmelo. Karmelo would have had a better shot at trial. But his family, it wasn't the prosecutor. It wasn't nobody else. His family railroaded him. It was the people that showed up and said, "I'm going to be biased," and got themselves kicked off for the jury. They railroaded him. His lawyer railroaded him. Like the activist railroader. Everybody on Karmelo's side threw him under the bus for fame and money. They should have let this man stand with Karmelo. This man was going to stand with Karmelo on the news and say, "I forgive him. Don't make it a racial thing." And he was going to walk Karmelo. He was going to walk with Karmelo through the whole ordeal. Could have been the best thing that happened to him. But nope. Listen to these N-words. And now he got 30. All the other people that they got stabbings, they got 10 years. So I haven't seen somebody with probation 35 years.
And proceeded to gaslight me and tell me how I was such, I can't remember the word he used, but that I shouldn't have been there, and it was not dignified to my son or myself, which I really couldn't quite understand as they proceeded to gaslight me. And also took it, there was a young lady who has followed the case also from the entire time. Her name is Sarah Fields. Also showed information about her. That's when they took it from any type of remorse, which they did not show, to the fact of now we're going to play the race card. And now we're going to politicize this. Now we're getting a political activist involved. The two things.
And everybody who did that, they ain't do nothing but help Karmelo get 35 years. All the people that said made it politicized it, made it racial, advocated for him, they just made the situation worse and worse and worse. And now that boy under the jail. When the victim's father wanted to stand with Karmelo.
I said on one of the first interviews I ever did was, please don't make this about race and please don't politicize it. But they chose to do both.
And your goal that day was to simply get together and pray?
All I wanted, yeah. I was actually hoping to show them, hey, look, man, I know what happened was terrible. And your son made a horrible mistake. I was hoping for some accountability maybe and some remorse. Neither one was shown.
Have you ever spoken to the Anthonys?
No.
No apology, no remorse?
Nothing.
You were telling me you were inside the courtroom, quite obviously. After the verdict, the Anthonys left. They weren't there for Karmelo's sentencing.
That is correct. They weren't there for the sentencing, and they were not there for victim impact statements. They left that poor child up there by himself. As soon as the verdict was read, he was guilty. His family and some other advocates left the courtroom and turned in their badges.
Because the parents knew he was guilty. The parents knew he was guilty. The parents knew he was wrong. They did everything to get the money. Like, he going to jail anyway. We might as well get as much money as we can and start our life as anew. The mother don't work. She don't got no job. So the mother, they done raised over $700,000. And then they did I think they still doing a GoFundMe. People still sending them money. They knew that boy was going to jail. They ain't care. That's why that boy was out losing his mind anyway. Because when kids are outside and they do things like that, it tells you how their home life is. He outside not caring because he doesn't have, ain't nobody caring for him. If he had a home life to where he felt loved, cared, and appreciated, he'd have thought twice before doing that. Everybody be like, oh, he live in a nice neighborhood. The parents live in a nice neighborhood. A lot of kids come from a nice neighborhood and be neglected. I watched the interview. The father said, I didn't know how great he was. He was a team captain, 2 jobs, saved somebody from drowning, and I didn't know how amazing he was because you don't pay attention. And kids know when their parents ain't paying attention to them. The mother don't got no job. The mother ain't at the track meet. She ain't got nothing to do. It's sad. And then he get 35 years by himself. They threw it on his back. Parents ain't even there. That's sad. But everybody mad at the victim and the victim's father.
Jeff, I was talking to you earlier. I asked about Austin's twin brother, Hunter. And I asked you, what has life been like for Hunter in school? Frisco Memorial has other black students. What's the relationships been like at school? What has life been like for Hunter?
Well, I can't speak, for Hunter. I can only try to imagine. But he held his grades. He had straight A's this year. He was captain of the football team. Took over his brother's position. I honestly can't see anyone that has the strength or the mental fortitude as much as that young man does. I told him, matter of fact, I told him right after the trial when he went up to give his victim impact statement that I saw a boy walk up there. But what I saw walk down was a man. He was calm, to the point, was able to articulate his words in a way that could be very understood very well. Asked Karmelo to look him in the eye to show him some respect, and never once became emotional and was able to convey what his thoughts were at that moment.
And you told me that multiple black students throughout Frisco High, Memorial High, also in the middle school, the entire community rallied around Hunter, rallied around your family, rallied around Austin. The point being, what was happening actually on the ground and in your lives was so different than what was taking place in the...
I'm going to start the video right here, man. This is what I'm going to say. You can't combat hate with hate. You gotta pray for your neighbor and love your enemy. Can't hate anybody. Black people out here hating white people. White people out here hating. White people out here hating black people. Black people out here hating white people, and foreigners hate America and Americans. The more hate that builds up, the worse it's gonna get. If people stop hating, things will be different. You understand what I'm saying? But you still need structure, you still need discipline, you still need laws, and we still need a constitution. We need these things in place because people are losing their minds. It's getting crazier and crazier, and they're literally protesting on "let me be crazy." When somebody say my mental health, they just saying "let me be crazy." So we need these laws. We need the Constitution so we can say hard truths and hear things that we don't want to hear. Everybody gets to talk. Everybody, I don't care if it's a lie. I don't care if it's this, that, and the third. Everybody should be able to say what they want to say. And all these people in the street that's hating people and want to be violent to people because the things that they say is wrong. You're wrong. Your hate is not... How I'm gonna put this? Like, people think their hate, I can hate, but you can't hate. That's how the Democrats move. They hate and white supremacy, but you're outside hating and being violent as well. Two wrongs don't make a right. Spread love, not war. And who knows. You know what I'm saying? Mobb Deep, Murder Music, recipes to Prodigy. Spread love, not war, because my shit is popping, and I be goddamn if you shot me. Excuse my language. But classic bar, classic hook, classic album. But for real, it's serious. Spread love, not war. I'm out. Like, share, comment, hit the notification. Coming back with more. TommyG out.